Okay, so my Wise is now rebooted. Now, just a few things to remember. If you're going to jump straight into this, you've got to remember a couple of things about Wiser. Is when Wiser has been reloaded with a project and it's booted up, it then takes a moment to connect to CBus. And the next stage after it's connected to CBus is that it does things like syncing time, getting NTP time and pushing that out onto the bus if it needs to. And then the next stage will be to request information from the bus. And this information is things like your security panels and status of lighting groups and everything. Because you remember, Wise has been offline, it hasn't been connected to CBus, so it needs to go out there and find and build up a pool of status and information. And one of the last things that it does is it requests all the status from your MRA system. And so that whole process can take just a little while. So if you wait for Wiser to reboot, jump straight in and look at the widget, you're likely to see that the widget isn't yet fully populated. Okay, but within a few seconds it will be, and then once Wiser's been up and running and everything, it'll always be. But just at that startup you may see something. Okay, so Wiser's rebooted, we're ready to go. We can either launch our web browser into Wiser, or we can launch the simulator straight from PICED, which is basically the same thing. So I'm connected to Wiser, I've got CBus, I'll just flick over to my Office, and here we have our advanced MRA widget. So it's telling me that the current source selected is my Office PC. I can change the source, I can obviously set volume, and I can change the source. So first we'll go through some sources. So I can change to iPod, I could change to Squeeze Center, I can change to my Media Center. Now, Media Center, you can see, has my transports. So these are for stop, play, pause of my transport. There's no feedback in these, you just press them, okay, and they do what they're supposed to do. So you don't get any specific feedback. Bit of a pity, but not to worry. Okay, so moving on from the Media Center, then we can move on and see that we can go to our next source, which is one of the inbuilt tuners. Okay, so our inbuilt tuner is currently playing a bit of Triple M or FM or whatever it's called. We can then change the source through the normal transport controls. Okay, and we can move to second tuner and do the same sort of thing. We can also expand that view, and we can get a expanded view where we can control our base level source, treble and source, and we can also directly select a radio station. Okay. And then on the next one, we're moving straight across. Now we've got our Ripple. So we're now connected to Ripple. You can see I've changed to it. It's directly started playing. I've got my cover art. I can have functions from these little ones such as shuffling the music or repeating the music in the various tracks. Repeat the song, repeat the playlist. Mute the source. You can see I've got my little short list down here, so I can pause and play. Okay, I can skip through my songs. Okay, and so on. Now this is the short list. Okay, which you can have up to 5. You remember I talked about the short list in your audio manager. Just mute that sound. So from here, if you were to expand up, you can see now we've got actually a couple more items in that list, so you can have up to 15 across here. So if you want more controls for sources, and then those numbers in the short list represent those that will be shown in the minimum view versus those that will be shown in the maximum, and then you can shuffle them up and down to get the order correct and so on. So a little bit of playing around, but that's pretty much you have it. So when you're in expanded view for Ripple, you get your playlists. And the reason I said you should have playlists is the playlist will not show the 3 defaults, the random ones. It'll only show the playlists that you've created. So if you've got no playlist, this list will not be present. So I might choose my shuffled album now, and then I can go back out and I'm now playing my shuffled, and there's my new changing album art and so on. So that's the advanced MRA widget, and yeah, in its basic operation. So and how to set it up. I hope that's helpful to you.